Carlos King, the mastermind behind some of reality TV's biggest hits, may have quietly let go of one of his most genuine and respected couples, Maurice and Kimmi Scott, not with a dramatic announcement, but through a cold contract clause that allowed production to slowly erase them without warning. This move hits especially hard because viewers are already frustrated with cast members like Robin, who admitted on her podcast that she hid major parts of her real life while feeding the audience. Watered-down storylines and exaggerated drama, including the messy Chris Bassett situation allegedly planned before filming even began. In contrast, Maurice and Kimmi built their presence on the show through authenticity rather than theatrics. They were the couple people rooted for navigating blended family struggles, careers, finances, and even Kimmi's cancer battle with honesty and grace. But reality TV only loves real until it stops pulling ratings. Over time, the Scotts were given less screen time, pressured to open up deeper wounds, and pushed toward conflicts they didn't want to create. When Kimmi expressed she didn't want to film certain deeply personal topics anymore, and Maurice refused to sensationalize their marriage for camera time, production reportedly used their short leash contract clause to quietly phase them out. Fans noticed their shrinking presence and defended them as the only couple still living real life on camera. But the show chose chaos over authenticity. Friends say Kimmi felt both relieved and hurt by how it unfolded. She shared her vulnerability with millions. Yet when she needed space, the show gave her distance. Maurice was more accepting of stepping away, but frustrated that viewers might assume they simply walked out when the truth was far more complicated. Instead of a proper farewell, they just faded into silence, their exit controlled by paperwork instead of dignity. This didn't just affect their careers, it weighed on their marriage. Because being told your life isn't entertaining enough can change how a couple communicates, argues, and even loves. Whether this is the end of their time on Love and Marriage, Huntsville, is unclear. But it may be the beginning of something better, something where they get to share their lives on their own terms, without producers pushing trauma and conflict for views. Carlos King may have made a business decision, but it also revealed just how cold the reality TV industry can be, using people's truths for content and discarding them when their piece becomes more important than the storyline. Maurice and Kimmi weren't dramatic enough, weren't willing to stage arguments, and refused to tear each other apart for camera time. Their biggest flaw was choosing peace over performance. And ironically, that's what made them stand out in the first place. While other cast members built entire seasons off rumors, plots, and manufactured scandals, the Scotts showed what actual marriage looks like: ups and downs, quiet moments, compromises, and real healing. But healing doesn't trend. Peace doesn't sell. Growth doesn't get retweeted. Reality TV claims to want authenticity but rewards destruction instead. Punishing those willing to live honestly, fans noticed the difference immediately. Losing the Scotts changed the show's energy without them. It feels heavier, messier, and more manufactured than ever. Storyline took priority over substance, shock value over sincerity. The warmth, heart, and authenticity the Scotts brought are now missing. And viewers can feel it even if they can't put it into words. People want someone to believe in, someone who reminds them that marriage isn't just chaos, it's work, healing, love, and real life. That's what Maurice and Kimmi brought, and that's what the show lost. Yet there's a silver lining. This quiet exit might be the best thing that ever happened to them. Stepping away from a show demanding more pain, conflict, and emotional sacrifice gives them space to breathe again. They've shared private moments and heavy storylines that most would never dare reveal. Now, without cameras dictating what to share, how to react, or when to cry, they can rebuild their peace, privacy, and marriage at their own pace. They don't owe the cameras anything anymore. They don't have to open old wounds for ratings. For the first time in a long time, they can protect their peace without being punished for it, maybe? This is where their real story starts, not the edited version. Not the produced version, not the chopped and rearranged version, but the authentic, unfiltered human version. whether they step away completely or return in a new format. Maurice and Kimmi Scott have never needed a show to validate their worth. They were real before the cameras, real on camera, and remain real after the cameras have moved on. Their quiet exit proves that sometimes the most powerful moments in reality TV don't come from drama, they come from the people who refuse to lose themselves inside it. Looking ahead, Maurice and Kimmi's departure could signal a shift not just for them, but for the reality TV industry as a whole. Their situation highlights a truth that fans have long sensed. Authenticity isn't always rewarded. And honesty can be punished when it doesn't generate drama or ratings. For other cast members watching from the sidelines, it's a quiet reminder that the system prioritizes spectacle over sincerity. Yet, for Maurice and Kimmi, stepping away might finally allow them to reclaim their narrative, to tell their story on their terms without scripts, cameras, or producers deciding which parts of their lives are interesting enough for audiences. This could be the chance to focus on growth, family, and personal projects. Free from the constant pressure of performing emotional trauma for entertainment for fans. The Scotts' absence leaves a noticeable void. Without their grounded presence, the show feels unbalanced, the emotional anchor missing, and the storylines leaning heavier toward manufactured conflict. Viewers may continue to question the authenticity of what they see on screen, realizing that without people willing to be vulnerable and real, reality TV risks becoming little more than staged chaos. At the same time, their exit serves as a reminder that the power of a story isn't always in the drama, it's in the truth. Fans who admired Maurice and Kimmi's courage, honesty, and resilience may follow them wherever they go next, proving that real connections resonate far beyond the confines of a TV show. Ultimately, this chapter may mark a turning point for the couple, offering a rare opportunity to rebuild life outside the glare of production demands. Away from cameras and forced conflicts, Maurice and Kimmi can rediscover the quiet joys of marriage, parenting, and family life without judgment or interference. They no longer have to defend their choices to an audience that only sees what's broadcast. They can simply live into doing so. They set an example for authenticity, courage, and the importance of protecting one's peace in a world that often rewards chaos and spectacle. Maurice and Kimmi's quiet exit stands as a powerful testament to the value of being real, even when it comes at a cost. Carlos King, the mastermind behind some of reality TV's biggest hits, may have quietly let go of one of his most genuine and respected couples, Maurice and Kimmi Scott, not with a dramatic announcement, but through a cold contract clause that allowed production